folks, my name is Mr. Kuchak and I am your art teacher. Before we begin, let me go over our class rules. We have 3 rules at Elk Lake. Be ready, be responsible, be respectful. We are ready in the art room when we come in, sit in our assigned seats, and get quiet so that we can learn about art. We are responsible in the art room when we follow directions and take care of our supplies, and we clean up any of our messes. We are respectful when we use kind words like please and thank you, and when we value other students' artwork. Supplies you will need for today's lesson. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Hi folks, today we are going to be working on our heart kind of op art type picture. One of the things I want to remind you is that when I'm drawing, I'm going to be using a Sharpie because it's very hard to see any pencil on this with the light that I have in here. So one of the things I wanted to go over was just the general shape and size that we want for a heart. If you're having a hard time making what I call almost like the question mark heart, where you start up with a bump and then come down and curve. So once again, bump up and curve down, then there is another way that you can do it. If you do a bumpy M and then connect with a V, that will give you a really good looking heart too. Now size-wise, little teeny tiny heart, not gonna work. We need it to fill up the entire paper. So let me show you how I kind of get started here. So when I'm looking at my paper, I know I want it at least as big as my hand so that it fills up this paper, because the heart's the important thing in here. So I'm going to start kind of in the middle of my paper. I'm going to curve up and I'm going to come pretty far down to the bottom. You can see it fills up that paper really good. Then I'm going to come up, around, and fill it in. That way it fills it up. It's okay if one side's bigger than the other because that's going to help with the picture. The next thing that we want to do is use our ruler. Now, the ruler, we're not going to measure anything. All we're going to use is, in fact, I'll put it so that the measurement's down. All we're going to use this for is for a spacer all the way down our picture. The trick here is stop when you hit the heart. Don't go through the heart. So I'm going to start here at the top. I come down and I stop. I come down and I stop. So then I slide this over a little bit. Now what I'm trying to do is make sure that my ruler is nice and straight. The straighter that is, the more it will kind of set off the curves of the heart. So then I just go to my next one. My next one. And then I just go over a little bit. Do my next one. Next one. And then I'm just going to keep going and going and going. So this is my last one that I'm going to fit in here because it's kind of small over there on the side. Now I have all these kind of vertical lines. Now we want to do some horizontal, but it's much easier if we just turn the paper and we do another set of vertical ones. Once again, we're not measuring anything. So all we're using this for is our spacer. So I'm just going to start at the top, and I'm just going to work my way down. When I hit the heart, I stop. When I hit the heart, I stop. So I keep coming through. Gotta stop, that's not going to fit. I put my next one on. And once again, when I hit the heart, we stop. We do not go running through the heart. This is the part you want to take your time because you want that to be a nice grid pattern in the background. If you don't have that nice grid, then there's a good chance that it's going to look really sloppy and really wiggly. So you can see too, when I'm using my ruler, I have my hand spread out so it's not in one spot. If it's in one spot, it's going to teeter-totter. So when we line it up, you can see my hand is spread out. I have 2 or 3 points of contact holding it in place. This way, my ruler does not spin around on me. Now this last one, I can just about get that in there. So let's get that last one in there. Now, the next step that we have to do is to connect our lines from one side to the other. This way we can put them in there. But what we want to do is use curvy lines. Now this is different from the background. That's why the heart is going to look like it's coming out towards us by using those curves. So let me get another pen, another Sharpie so that you can see what I'm doing, and then we'll get going. Okay, I find that it's much easier if I have my paper sideways, and I'm going to use red for the ones that have to come down. So each one has to connect. What I like to do is curve from like the middle and up, I curve that way. From the middle and down, I curve down that way. So this is the middle. That's where that one's got to go. Now, some people find it easier if they kind of block out the ones that are missing. So this way I can see, okay, this line has to go there. And what I do is I go from here, I curve it up, I go from here, and I curve it up. That way they meet. And then I just block that one out, and I curve it up and down. And then I meet here, and I curve up and down. And then this one is just going to be a slight little line there. And then I come this way, and remember, this is halfway, so now it's got to drop down. So it's more like a smile versus a frown. That one goes there. That one goes there. And then I'll have this little one right there. Now I'm going to change colors so that you can see what I'm doing. Once again, I find it a lot easier if I turn my paper so that I'm kind of like in the middle. Now this, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So half of 7 is like 3.5. So if we count up 3, 1, 2, 3, right in here is the middle. So I'm going to use this one here as the middle. Whatever's in the middle here has to come up towards me this way. Whatever's going that way is going to go that way. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to curve up and over. I go to my next one. I curve up and over. Now this one's going to be tricky because we have this little bump in here. So what we do is we curve over, and we just pick it up on the other side and come down. This one is going to be fine right there because it's just a little teeny tiny bump, and we really won't see that. Now over here, we're going to go up and down, up and down, and up. So now what we have is we have our heart drawing that looks like it's kind of bulging out from the background. The whole trick here is going to be now how we color it in to make it really pop. And what we're going to do is a 2-color pattern in our background. So let me show you how to get that set up. Now I'm going to pick 2 colors. Since I use red and blue, it's a lot easier for me to use red and blue with this. The whole trick here is to have your 2 markers ready, and you just mark them off. That one's going to be blue, that one's going to be red, that one's going to be blue, that one's going to be red, that one's going to be blue, that one's going to be red, blue, red. Now when I go back here, I can see it's blue, so then it's got to be red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. And then we go here, so red, blue, and now I can just follow my pattern down here. Red, or I'm sorry, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, blue, red, blue, red, blue. There'd be red back there, so that would be blue. That would be red. Now you can see I stopped when I hit the heart because there's 2 different ways to do the heart. One of them is to use a different color wherever they meet, and the other one is to actually use two totally opposite colors. So let me get this side down, and then I'll show you how to fill in the bottom, and then we'll fill in the heart. So red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. Now that we have that done, now we can go next to it. Blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. That would be blue, red, blue, red, blue. That's blue, that's red, that's blue, red. And then if you're not sure, it's a lot easier just to come on this side and follow your pattern here. Because as long as you did the top ones right, the bottom ones will fit in. So that's gonna be a little bit of blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, and then red, blue, red, blue. So now we have this entire background done. What I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm going to color in each box carefully. So when I'm coloring, I'm taking my marker and I'm just following along my lines, and I'm just trying to fill in that entire spot so that it gets filled in nice and neatly. Now I'm gonna pause the video. I'm going to color this in because you don't need to watch me color every spot in, and then we'll get it picked back up. All right, there we go. We got that all in. Now, one thing I wanted to show you is if you happen to, when you're drawing it out, like jump the line a little bit, an easy way to fix it is just go back in, make the line a little bit thicker. So I jumped that line just a tiny little bit. So I just made it a little bit thicker through there, and it worked out really good. So here's the two finished ones. They are both colored in, they are both Sharpied, and they look really good. So I can't wait to see what you make. Good luck with it. Have a great day. Bye, folks.